we are looking for the real GDP of each year. Real GDP, what is formula? Q times P base. Remember? And year one is base year. So year one is real GDP. 3,000 times 0.2, that is 600. Okay? 2,000 times 0.4, that is 800. We add them up, we got 1,400. Okay? Year one real GDP is 1,400. Year two, the quantity is 4,000, but we are using 0.2. That is the base year price. Point is 800. And 3,000 times we are using base year price 0.4. That is 1,200. We are adding them up. We got 2,000. Correct answer is C. Okay, very good. Next one, number 5. Evan, do you have an answer?
I got C.
You got C? Read
Yeah.
only?
Yeah.
Lucas, what's your answer?
C, 3 only.
3 only. Yes, the correct answer is C. Because we have no idea about the population. So there's no easy way to find out the standard of living, okay? And there's no way to find out GDP per capita. GDP per capita. We don't know the population, so we cannot determine whether or not 1 and 2 are correct or not. So the only correct answer is number 3. 3 only. Correct answer is C. Leon, good for this one? Okay, next topic. Inflation. Ever heard of inflation? It's a very hot topic. Leon, what do you think is inflation? What is inflation? From your understanding.
Just like prices of goods or services going upwards as time goes on.
Yeah, as time goes on, the price level increase and increase, everything becomes more expensive. We are complaining about it. Okay, that's inflation. Inflation rate is the percentage increase in the overall price level per year. For example, last year, the price level is 100. This year is 105. Okay, so we have 5% more expensive. Inflation rate is going to be 5. And Evan, what if last year the price level is 100? This year is 98. What is the inflation rate?
-2.
Negative 2%.
Yeah.
And the negative inflation is also called deflation. Deflation is the opposite of inflation. Negative inflation is also called deflation. So last year 100, this year 98. Okay, we have a deflation of 2%. Sounds good, everyone? All right. How do we measure inflation? Let me give you an example. Next page. Okay. Suppose in a small country, okay, there are only 2 products: apples and bananas. Okay. To make it simple, we don't have any other products. We have only apples and bananas. The price of apple price rises like 50%. Okay. And the bananas price increase by 10%. Okay, this is everything you're given. Now, please tell me the inflation rate of this country. What do you think? One item becomes 50% more expensive. Another item like bananas becomes 10% more expensive. Evan, you're smiling. What's your answer? Inflation rate?
I don't know. I guess you would just average it or something. So
Average 50s and 10. What is average? 30?
yeah.
Leon, what do you think?
That would make the most sense. I'm not really sure about this one either.
So you do agree with 30, the average of 10 and 50?
Uh,
Now I want to ask the third person in this classroom, Lucas. What do you think? I'm not a very
I,
good fan of 30, okay?
I think it might be 50%, the highest increasing thing.
Uh-huh. Okay, interesting. Okay, I want to
I don't
say
really know though. It's just a
the
random
inflation
guess.
rate, I want to say, is somewhere between 10% and 50%. Okay, must be in this range. It cannot be lower than 10. It cannot be over 50. So far, so good. But how much it is, it depends on another thing. Like, let me give you some examples. Suppose we are in the United States, okay? And last year, we know, do you think US people, we love bananas more or we love apples more? What do you think? Evan, do you think we consume more bananas or more apples in a given year for US people?
I'm not sure.
Actually, we love bananas. Okay, we love bananas. If you go to a grocery store, you will see more bananas than apples.
Mhm.
Okay, so just give you a random number. Suppose we have one apple sold in this country in a year, but 100 bananas. Okay, now do you see the difference? There are very, very few apples in this country purchased by or produced, but a huge amount of bananas produced in this country in a given year. Now, it's something like apples become 50% more expensive, bananas just becomes 10% of more expensive. What is the inflation rate? Do you think it's more like close to 50 or close to 10? Evan, the overall inflation rate
Closer
is
to 10.
close to 10. Maybe 11 or 12. Do you agree? It would not be close to 50 because even if the price of apples becomes so much more expensive, it doesn't matter. Okay, it has tiny little influence on the overall price level because only one people purchase an apple. That's it. Okay, majority of the consumption is bananas. So we cannot simply calculate the average of 10 and 50, 30. It's not 30. It depends on what? Can you summarize it, Evan? It depends on
Like sales or like production.
sales, the production, like the sales, like the quantity. Okay, so now let me give you another example.